Okay, well, I'm going to say something that's controversial, as usual, I guess. But according to the code, black males and black females do not have a relationship. And the relationships that we have in the system of white supremacy is just an arrangement. They're not real relationships. We can't have it. There's no way to achieve that in the system. So you compensate. Compensate by what? By first of all saying that this is an arrangement. It's just a temporary arrangement, we hope, because we can only get the arrangement that we need when we are not under the system of white supremacy. There's no such thing as a black person being the head of a household. Like the black male will say, well, I'm the man in the house. First of all, you're not a man, according to the code, or according to logic. And we're not qualified to be men. Men can take care of what they have to take care of. Boys are dependent on men. I'm in a boy condition. So you just have boys and girls, that's black people. Now we try to go through the actions, we try to pretend that's what we are, but we are doing the worst thing we possibly can do when we go that route, and that's fool ourselves. So we do the best we can as equal partners and equal prisoners in the prison of war. Because that's who we are, according to the evidence. We've been captive. We are still in captivity. So how can I walk up to a black female and say, you are my woman?
Me?
I am disqualified. I've been disqualified from that long before I was born. Because my father and father before me and the father before him, they were all in captivity. They were all under the system of white supremacy. I cannot demand anything of the black female. Why? Because I can't demand anything of myself. Everything that I get, that I give to her, or any help that I get, or have, that I give to her, look at it now, in all truth, where do I get that help from? The white supremacists. They are taking care of me. So when I tell her that I'm taking care of you, that's impossible. That can't be done. I'm just passing on what I can get from the white supremacists to her. So it's the white supremacists who speeds her and clothes her. I can't take credit for any of that. We are both prisoners chained in the bottom of the ship. I don't own anything. I'm not a man. I'm disqualified from that. And I won't be qualified as long as I'm subject to the system of white supremacy. I know that hurts your feelings, Neely Fuller, but wake up and smell the coffee. That's the truth. It's not your feelings that's at stake here. It's solving a problem. And the first thing you need to solve a problem is you need the truth. Every general in every army that's worth anything will say, look, tell me what I'm up against. Tell me what my status is. Don't tell me that I'm strong when I'm weak. Because that's how I will lose this battle that I got to go into. Every football coach understands that. You don't run out on that field declaring that you're ready for football and you haven't even been practicing. But when it comes to black malehood, black manhood, that is, we declare that we are men without being qualified. And we got to stop that. And in a practical sense, I want to say this while I'm thinking about it, because there's so many hundreds of things that I have to say. But I want to say this right now. No black male ever got no business raising his hand and hitting a black female.
That's right.
Unless it's in self-defense, like she's swinging an axe at you or something. Now, if you're sitting there, this calmly, drinking your coffee or whatever, and she comes rushing out of the kitchen swinging an axe, then you have to defend yourself. But jumping up and saying, I'm the man in this house, and I tell you what to do, and you better do it. When did you get qualified to do that? How? When if you hit her, now when that white supremacist walks across your living room floor and muddies up your carpet you don't tell him who's in charge. So stop shamming. Everybody out there within the sound of my voice who's been doing that, who has seen that happen to their own mothers and whatnot, like it's going on out there right now. That shouldn't ever happen. So what does the code say about it from the female viewpoint? First time, last time. That's it. First time he hits you, it's over. I don't care if you have to stay there, because most likely you do. You don't have a place to go and all like that. But that was a declaration that this so-called arrangement, this relationship, this whatever you want to call it, this marriage, this sham, this whatever it is, has just been announced that it is over because you don't have any business hitting her because you're mad about something. Ever. Argue, walk around and fume, walk outside the house, and go take a walk and whatnot. Until it all wears off. But don't dare raise your hand and then have it come down and connect on that lady who is not to blame for your condition. I don't care if she did stay out all night. Now that just means that if you feel like hitting her, what does that mean? Because some people say, oh man, but you don't know this woman I got, man. You just talk about women in general. You need to hook up with this one I got. Right. No, that applies to her too. Now, because if you get mad enough to hit her, what does that mean, logically speaking? That means you don't need her. You need somebody else. Because you're not supposed to be there with nobody that you got to hit. That's what that means. You have been grossly mismatched. If you even feel like you got to hit her, you need to get somebody else right now. Because that's not supposed to happen. But if you want to stay there, you definitely don't hit her. I don't care what she does. I don't care how many times she gets in her face and say, I ain't going to do nothing. I ain't hitting the liquor. I ain't going on the job today. Now you resolve that some other way other than raising your hand to hit her. You're not qualified. A black male is not qualified to hit no black female ever was born. As an aggression thing, as a straightening her out. Unless it's in direct self-defense. But because she threw away all the rent money? No. That just means, hey, you need to get out of there and get you somebody else that you don't have to hit. Or who ain't going to spend the rent money. But don't you hit her. That's all I'm saying. That's the bottom line. Argue, fuss, stay up all night, make a lot of noise, but don't dare connect bodily harm. No bodily harm. No bodily harm. Ever. Because once you do it, she has no obligation to you from that point on. That should be the black code. I'm not talking about waiting on the white supremacists to walk in there and lecture you on how you should act. I'm talking about you should make that announcement yourself, to yourself, that if I ever hit her, I know that it's over, because that's the contract we have made. It's over. She's free to do anything from that point on. Be with as many people, many males as she want to be with, or anything. She can come in here the very next 15 minutes with whole boyfriend and say he's going to spend the night. And I ain't supposed to open my mouth. Why? Because I hit her. I no longer have no authority. I gave it up when I hit her. That should be a part of the black code, and I'm serious about that. Now, we need to contemplate that, and that needs to be said in every college.